Hey, what's up, beautiful souls? Happy Friday. I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope this message finds you in a centered, loving place. Today's message is about change. And there is a lot of change that has happened in the year 2020. And we are seeing clearly, metaphorically, 2020 vision, right? We're seeing right where people are consciously and on their soul's journey and healing and understanding the laws of the universe and how they interact and create the reality that we experience as a human being. And I just want to offer that though there is change needed, we are going about trying to bring change to the forefront by all the wrong means, by hating politicians, by hating police, by hating the black community, by hating the virus, by hating whatever it is right now that people are hating. You see the common theme? Hate. Hate doesn't change anything. Hate just creates more hatred. So, blaming politicians, blaming the police, blaming the black community, blaming the virus, blaming whatever you want to blame is giving your power away, your power to change your reality. And only when we individually choose to change the reality and choose to live from heart center and understand and have compassion and discover self with self-awareness and practices that we have to put into place to become aware of ourselves and really take the time out from our busy lives to separate from the distractions of technology, from gossiping with people at work or watching the news or whatever it may be that's programming and setting up the reality that you are receiving. We have to become aware of it, because the moment we start to blame, the moment we give our power away. So, stop hating. Find compassion in your heart for the politicians, because nobody at 3 years old says, I want to become a politician and become greedy and crooked and have all the power and the money. And even getting into politics, the small politicians, in my heart, I want to believe, and I do believe, that no politician or no man or woman gets into politics with the mindset of becoming corrupt and greedy and self-centered and XYZ, whatever that you view politicians as. I truly don't believe that. Just like I don't believe police officers get up with the intent to start their shift to shoot and kill somebody. I don't believe that pedophiles are born at 3 years old and think, I'm going to be sexually attracted to little kids my whole life. These things stem from trauma. As far as the pedophiles go, I would venture to say that sexual trauma is very prevalent in their childhood and very possibly prevalent in their adult life. So that trauma manifests as these dark happenings, as they repeat these patterns that they've experienced in their life and maybe in a past life, or they have created this reality from their own trauma that it is okay. And though you may not have the same traumas and may not agree with them, which I think we're all on the same boat, that pedophilia is so wrong, and robbing the innocence from a child is one of the most heinous acts you can commit against humanity. But we have to pray for these people's healing. We have to pray for them to understand that this is not okay. Hating them and shunning them and creating this huge target on their back only creates more trauma for them to continue these repeated cycles. And the same with politicians. The more we hate them, the bigger the division and the mindset and the gap comes, and the heart is taken out of it even more, because now everybody hates these people. So these people in power, why would they care about the people that hate them? And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not justifying anybody's actions. I'm just trying to think outside of the box of how we can come together and create real change. And that's through compassion and empathy and understanding that everything is an extension of ourselves. And just because you haven't experienced the trauma that would ever make you do a heinous act, to lack the compassion and the empathy to understand that somebody may have experienced years and years of torture and trauma and abuse to create my ego wants to say monster, but it's not a monster. It's a fractured and broken soul that doesn't know any better through these voids and their wholeness. So they seek to fill those voids with the purity of children, or the purity of the innocence, or whatever somebody seeks to find the middle path. If they're way out here on this other end, it's going to take something way out here on the other end to bring them back to the middle. Or for their reality, I'm sorry, that could have been confusing. In their reality, if they're way out here, they're going to have to reach all the way over here for the illusion of the middle path, or they're not even consciously thinking of the middle path, but universal balance is what is happening there. And only when we come from the middle path as somebody that's understanding and compassionate can we bring them here, instead of their pendulum swinging all the way back over here and it never becoming still. And we just continue these repeated cycles of wanting change but hating from the other end, and just creating that massive pendulum swing where we always miss the heart center. So it's no coincidence that the heart is the middle chakra. You're channeling higher dimensions and higher wisdom and higher knowledge from higher self in the spiritual realm. But you also have to understand, as a human, you have to channel and find that balance from the lower energy fields. And that's where you meet in the heart center, and you take the understanding of the higher realms, mix with the balanced ego to create a pure human existence and a pure human reality where you can have compassion and empathy for everybody. And it starts within. It starts from you becoming self-aware of your dark shadows, of your dark thoughts, of your traumas, bringing them to the surface and healing them, and loving yourself and giving yourself grace and forgiving yourself and everybody that you see has brought harm to you. Hatred does not cut that energy tie. It's always going to stay with you, and it's always going to be a sandbag that you're trying to run with in life if you don't forgive and positively cut that energy tie. It's just the universal laws of this human reality that we cannot move forward hating and wanting change, but hating what we need to change. Hate is exactly what the powers to be want you to do. So if you hate the powers to be, guess what? You're giving the power to them by hating. Because it's just driving a gap between you and your neighbor, you and your coworker, you and your boss, you and the store clerk that asks you to wear masks. Hatred is not the answer, folks. Find your heart, find your compassion, find your empathy. And I'm speaking to myself as well. I'm just as guilty. It's very difficult. But being self-aware is the first step, because when you are self-aware and have the understanding that everything is an extension of what you have going on inside of you, that's where your unlimited potential to change and to create the life that you want for yourself. You'll find, talking to people of different backgrounds and different social bubbles, if you will. I've talked to people that are absolutely flourishing right now in their life. And I have a lot of dear friends that's the case. You can tell who's putting in the work. You can tell who is focusing on the positive aspects of their life and tuning out the mainstream narrative of a virus or politics or black versus police. You can tell who is buying into the narrative. And I'm not saying don't be aware of what's going on, because awareness is where the power is, but also focusing on yourself, your family, your loved ones, your connection with higher realms, your connection with the higher self. Pay attention to the people around you. Are they hating? Are they hating the police? Are they hating Donald Trump? Are they hating Joe Biden? Are they hating the fact that shit is shut down? Or are they understanding and compassionate, and they don't give their power away to a politician or to the virus? Be aware. Live from heart center. Find your heart center. Can't live there if it's hard to find. Talk to God. Talk to yourself. Ask the tough questions. Who are you? What is your mission here on earth? What do you want out of life? Do you want chaos? Do you want to focus on politics? Do you want to focus on the virus? What do you want to focus on? What are you focusing on? Is that what's coming into your life? Is that hatred finding you? Change only can come from within. You can't march and spew hatred and think that the next day everything's going to just be full of love and compassion and understanding. So I know I'm ranting now, so I'll cut this video off. I love you guys. I hope you guys have an absolutely magical weekend, and focus on the light that radiates from your heart. And that's love, and that's the God vibration. Blessings.